Astral Projection. Explained by Samael Aun Weor. My friends, it is important for you to comprehend the necessity of learning how to leave the physical body at will. I want you to understand that the physical body is a house within which we must not be as prisoners. It is indispensable to enter into the region of the dead at will, to visit the celestial regions, to know other worlds of the infinite space. Outside of the physical body, one can give himself the luxury of invoking beloved relatives who already passed through the doors of death. They will answer our call, then we can personally chat with them. There are necromantic magicians who know how to invoke the deceased ones in order to make them visible and tangible in this physical world. Nonetheless, we prefer to enter the region where they live and visit them in order to know how their situation is, etc. When out of the physical body, we can acquire complete knowledge about the mysteries of death and life. Out of the physical body, we can invoke the angels in order to talk personally with them face to face. It is good for you to understand that we had other bodies in the past, we had other existences. When we are out of the physical body, we can remember those existences, we can revive them with complete exactitude. The clue in order to go out of this dense form, out of this carnal body, is very simple. Attend to me very well, listen. In those instants of transition between vigil and dream, one can escape from the body of flesh and bones at will. A very special case comes into my memory in these moments. Some time ago, I arrived to a town and looked for a hotel, but all the hotels were full. There were no accommodations for anyone. Nonetheless, I obtained accommodation within a hall for guests. There were many beds where the guests were sleeping. I paid for the last one of those beds that was vacant and I fell asleep on it. However, it so happened that at about midnight, a man knocked at the door of that house asking for accommodation. The owner of that business took him to our hall and told him, "I do not have beds, look, all of them are occupied." The guest complained and said, "There is no accommodation in any place. Thus I am determined to sleep in this hall, even though I will do it on the floor. Please, place on the floor for me a floor mat, rug, or carpet and a pillow for my head, because I am very tired." The lady, the owner of that guest house, was touched, and joyfully consented to what that man asked. I was awake, seeing and hearing everything. Then, the sighted guest laid down on the floor, and he intended to fall asleep. I observed details while the man was in the vigil state. He moved from one side to the other as if he wanted to accommodate himself to the hard floor. Then suddenly, he became still and I saw with astonishment an ovoid, grayish cloud that was leaving through the pores of his skin around all his body. The cloud floated for a few instants over that tired body and finally, placing itself in a vertical position, it took the figure of that pilgrim. He fixedly stared at me and thereafter, he walked normally and left the hall. Behold, my friends, that always happens while in the state of transition between vigil and dream. The pilgrim simply withdrew from his dense form. All of you do the same thing, but in an unconscious way. I do not want to tell you with this that the gentleman from this story had performed a conscious astral projection. Nonetheless, the same action can be performed positively and consciously by will. Indeed, this is a natural process. Therefore, to become aware of our own natural processes can never be dangerous. In no way is it dangerous to consciously perform all of our functions instead of performing them unconsciously and unwillingly. Therefore, I put certain emphasis on the necessity of taking advantage of the instant of transition between vigil and dream, in order to abandon the body of flesh and bones, thus entering into the region of mysteries. There are incredulous people who say, "What can you know about that which is the beyond? What can you know about that which is from the heaven above? Have you perhaps gone into the other world and come back again?" etc. Dear friends, I assure you that with this procedure, you can go into the other world and return from it. I can swear to you by what I love the most in life, that I go into the other world each time that it pleases me, and that you can go also. What is important for you is to not be afraid. When I want to depart from my physical body at will, I take advantage of that instant in which I am slumbering, in that moment in which one is neither completely awake nor completely asleep. Thus, in that precise moment, I perform what that pilgrim of my story performed. I get up very softly, feeling myself as if I were vaporous, fluidic, gaseous, then I leave my room as that mentioned guest from the guest house did, and I direct myself towards the street. Space is infinite. Thus, flying, I can go to any place of the earth or the infinite. You can do the same, my dear friends. The whole matter rests only on your will to do it. First of all, you must not identify with the material body. In the precise moment of executing the experiment, you must think that you are not the body. You must comprehend that you are soul. You must feel yourselves as being a fluidic, subtle soul. Thereafter, feeling thus, in that state, simply get up from your bed. What I am stating must be translated as facts, my dear friends. Listen to me very well. It is not a matter of thinking that you are getting up from your bed, otherwise you will remain there thinking that, and you will not perform the experiment. I repeat, what I am emphasizing must be translated into facts. You must perform exactly what that pilgrim of my story performed. He did not position himself to think that he was going to depart from his body, he simply acted, he simply got up from the hard floor where he was lying down. I repeat with complete clarity, he got up being subtle, vaporous, thus, like that, he departed from that place. When are you going to understand me? In which epoch of the history of your lives are you going to learn to depart from your physical body at will? Do you want to know something from the beyond? Do you want to chat with divine beings face to face? Then, when you are out of your physical body, invoke them, call them with shouts. It is clear that they will answer because of their love towards you, with the purpose of instructing you. The whole matter that is needed is to abandon laziness and to pay attention to the process of dreaming, because the blankets, bedclothes, or sheets with which one is covered become very pleasant, and it is very difficult to leave the indolence, the slothfulness. Remember that willpower is indispensable. Thus, if you exert your will in order to depart from your body, you will achieve it, if you follow my instruction with exactitude. All of the sages of the past abandoned the dense form in order to consciously and positively travel in infinite space. Then, they spoke with the holy gods, thus they received marvelous instructions. When we are outside of this physical world, we can experience in a direct way all the mysteries of life and death. Now, you comprehend why I put so much emphasis on the necessity of learning how to depart from the physical body at will. Question: Master, is it necessary to have some previous learning in order to depart from the physical body, or do some know how to do it from birth? I have heard many people say, I know how to travel in the astral world. Would you explain if this is the same? Answer: My respected lady, your question is certainly very suitable. In the name of the truth, I have to tell you that nobody had to teach me how to astral project myself, because I was born with that faculty. This is why I know the mysteries of life and death. Now, you can explain to yourself where I get all of the knowledge that I have written in my books. Nonetheless, my case is not an exception. My wife Leitlantz also knows how to depart from her physical body at will. We astral travel together, we visit the temples of mysteries, we help many people from remote places, we investigate mysteries, we talk with the gods, the angels, and with the ineffable devas. Thus when we return into our physical bodies we bring the same memories. This is similar to when two persons leave their homes in order to have some recreation on Sunday, and then they return and talk about the distinct occurrences of their journey. There are many people in distinct parts of the planet Earth who know how to depart from the physical body at will. Therefore, it is necessary that you also learn how to do it in order for you to know the great marvels of nature and the cosmos, and in order to know what is that which is beyond death. Question: Master, you tell us that in order to project oneself into the astral plane, one has to take advantage of that given moment when one is between vigil and dream. Can we not make it in other moments? Answer: Dear young lady, I want you to know that when one is very skillful in this matter of astral projection, one can escape from his physical body at will, even if your carnal body is seated or if it is on its feet. However, I repeat, the latter is only for very practical, skillful people. What is normal and natural is to lay down on the bed in order to astral project oneself. Question: Master, can we invoke any special master so that he can help us in our astral projection attempt? Answer: Friend, allow me to tell you that there are invisible beings who can help us. Nonetheless, you can ask for help from your own particular Divine Mother. I am referring to your own Mother Nature, because it is obvious that each one has their own. You must beseech her in the name of Christ so that she can take you out of your body in the precise instant in which you are in that state of transition between vigil and dream. Question: Master, is there any special prayer in order to call our particular Mother Nature? If there is, can you teach it to us? Answer: Benevolent disciple who is listening to me, I am going to give you advice which can assist anybody in the world. You must lay down on your bed, facing upwards with your body very well relaxed, and become sleepy while reciting with your thought and with your heart the following prayer. I believe in God, I believe in my Divine Mother, and I believe in white magic. My mother, take me out of my body. You must recite this magical prayer with full devotion and with intense faith. Become sleepy, and if it is necessary, you must pray it millions of times. However, remember that saying which states, "Strike with thy rod while thou art begging God." Thus, when you feel yourself in that state of lassitude which is proper to sleep, when in your mind the first images of dreaming start to appear, then please, I beg you, defeat your laziness, and, feeling yourself like a delicate and subtle phantom, perform what the pilgrim of our story did in the hall of that guest house, that is, get up from your bed and leave your home. Understood? Question: Master, can we ask our particular Mother Nature to take us to a determined place, or does she take us where we must go in accordance with our preparation? Answer: The question you ask is very good. Our Divine Mother knows the place where she can take each one of us. Nonetheless, we also can ask her to take us to this or that given place. Thus, if she wants to do it, very well. Nevertheless, if she does not want to take us where we want, but instead she transports us to another place, then we must gladly accept her decision, because it is clear that our Mother knows what we need, that which is most convenient to us.